Hi everyone, Judy here, and I want to say thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to attend this webinar. Now, I want to be sure to give everybody a little bit of extra time for anyone still trying to connect before we get going. And let's make sure that the technology is working the way we really want it to. So if you would just put in the chat box that you can hear me and you can see my slide, that would be awesome. Great. I see so many of you can hear me and see my slide. Don't you love when technology cooperates? Now, while we wait, I'm going to take the opportunity to say that I am super excited to be sharing this process, the skirt method, with you today. We've got a lot of women registered, and I know that what I'm about to share with you will be well worth your time. And we're going to cover some strategies and steps that have helped me and women around the world achieve the sales and business success that they deserve. It's been truly life-changing, and I can't wait to get it going with you guys today. Okay, I think that's probably enough time for everyone to get connected, so without further ado, let's begin. Again, I want to welcome and thank everyone for joining me today for this presentation. And I'm going to spend some time with you to share a process to improve yourself, your sales, and your business, and a process that's changed my life and the lives of hundreds of women that I work with over the past 30 years. Now, we've got a lot of great things to go over, and I want to make sure you don't miss a single thing. So do me a favor, please turn your phones off, shut down all your windows, all the games, any distractions, and we're going to get this going. And you could put all your questions in the chat box, and I'll be sure to answer all of them. So are you ready? You know, I know that these days that the time is short, and I value it over everything else, so I will honor it by getting to the point of this webinar. Now, chances are you're here today to solve a major problem in your business or expand your business. And at the core of either, it's always about sales. And you know what? We may not have ever met in person, but I bet I know three things about you. Number one, you're frustrated because you're not making the kind of money you want, and more importantly, that you deserve. And you're working way too hard and way too long, and you're not seeing the results. You're also discouraged from wasting time and money on those tasks and the work that produce little or no results. You want to take the guesswork, the uncertainty, the ambiguity out of sales, and you want to learn what really works today. And you're missing a really great plan, and not just a generic plan for success, but you're missing a plan specific for you and your business. Now, even if you aren't all of the three things I just mentioned, I bet you answered yes to at least one of those statements. And while I'm going to share today the things that will absolutely help you overcome your frustrations. And I'm going to share some of the most effective and actionable strategies that are guaranteed to improve your sales and ultimately increase your income while providing the balance in your personal and professional life that you're striving to achieve. And today I'm going to teach you the 5 principles from my skirt philosophy training. It's a simple yet extremely powerful process that will teach you to be a master of your own sales, allowing you to put yourself and your business in a position to realize consistent success. And I want to teach you to sell more effectively so that you can live the life you set out to achieve when you first started your business. In fact, if you're a woman who's in business for herself and you want to improve your results and your sales and your income, this webinar will actually be life-changing. And I don't say that lightly because what you're about to learn has been life-changing for me and so many other women just like you. But before we get there, we need to address some things, and I need to ask you an important question. Are you in the right place? Is this webinar actually for you? Well, this webinar is for women who sell first and foremost. It can be a product you sell, a service you offer, but you're in business for selling, even if you truly believe you aren't a salesperson. You see, the most important commodity you sell every single day is yourself. Now, if you're passionate about your business and you love getting new clients and customers because you know you can provide just what you're looking for and need, this webinar is for you. And if you've been in business for a year or more and you've achieved some degree of success, well, maybe you're not at your target revenue and your personal income, but you have achieved some success in selling your product or service before. And you may feel undervalued or underappreciated, like there's something more and it's barely out of reach. Your product or your service is awesome, and while you should be overwhelmed with customers and clients that keep coming back, you aren't, and you aren't sure why. And you're not afraid of a little hard work to gain your success. You have to understand that growing a real business and making real money will take some time and energy on your part. And I just want you to be sure that you're spending it the most efficient and effective ways for you and your business. And you're ready to invest in yourself and your business. You know the business you set out to run is still within reach. You just need a little help and guidance to help you realize those goals. Now, if this describes you, I am so excited that you're here today and can't wait to share this with you. But before I do, I should give you fair warning for who this isn't going to be helpful for. Now, this webinar is not for all women. If you're just trying to make a quick buck, we will talk about a real plan and not a quick rich scheme. So this webinar is definitely not for you. And if you're not willing to put your money where your mouth is, you can't be afraid to invest in yourself and your business, both with your time and your money. And if you're not ready and willing to put in some work and effort to achieve your goals, you just won't be able to achieve that kind of success in business or the lifestyle at home that you really want if you don't work for it. There's no other way around it. You know, the people who work their ideal work-life balance now have put in the time beforehand to get there. Some of the women I've worked with have successfully gotten their business to a point that they now run it from all over the world with their families. But they didn't start their business on Monday and start traveling on Friday. They put in the time, the effort, and the energy it took to get themselves and their business to that point. So if you're willing to put in the work and the time, I want to help you get there as quickly as possible. So over the next 45 minutes or so, you're going to learn a powerful, strategic, step-by-step process to vastly improve your overall approach to business, sales success, and even life. Now let me be clear. This process is exactly what I do at my company, Selling in a Skirt. I've been committed to helping women succeed in sales both as employees and entrepreneurs for over 30 years now, and I still get excited to talk to new women and help them succeed. Success at Selling in a Skirt only happens when the women that I help reach their goals and achieve success in their business. And I want to share this with you today because it's a part of my bigger goal that I have in mind for helping women in sales this year. My mission in 2016 is to help one woman per day reach their desired income and work-life balance goal. And to get started, I want to take you through the process that transformed my success in sales, has helped hundreds of women improve their sales, and will absolutely help you grow your business. Now, on this webinar, I'm going to reveal to you some common misbeliefs about sales in general and sales for women. You probably have some of them yourself, not even realizing that these thoughts are holding you back. And breaking these myths and putting them in their proper context will help you sell more effectively and with a lot more confidence. And my skirt philosophy has propelled myself and the women I've trained into the kind of successful lifestyle we want and deserve. This is a 5-step process I've used to help women become successful at selling over and over and over again. And most importantly, how can you use the skirt system and grow your business and start realizing the success and lifestyle you deserve as well? So here's what I can promise you. After you get this information, you'll have the tools to differentiate yourself and your business in your market and be confident that you'll be able to sell to new customers and clients. You'll be able to grow your business and still find balance in your personal life. And you'll be much more confident as businesswomen, one that's ready to take full control of her business success. But before I dive into this life-changing information, let me tell you a quick backstory. My name is Judy Hoberman, and I guess you could say I'm a leader, an entrepreneur, sales trainer, a keynote speaker, consultant, radio host, and author. But if I'm truly honest, I'm just a small-time girl from Far Rockaway, New York, who became extremely passionate about sales and helping women be successful at it. Before we get into the webinar, I want to take you some time to let you know who I am. For some of you, you may have been in the same shoes I was in. Now, I wasn't always in a position to help women find their success. I was trying to figure out how to navigate sales for myself when I first began over 30 years ago. And that story begins in the 1970s when I became a salesperson for Fuller Brush. Now, whether you're familiar with the company or not, it's a humble beginning in true door-to-door sales. I was going to knock on people's doors hoping to sell them brushes and brooms and mops and whatever else was in their catalog. It wasn't going to be easy, but I thought I'm going to get off on a flying start by making the first sale by knocking on my mom's door. Now, let's just say she helped me realize just how hard sales can be. She actually said no to buying anything from me. No, that's my mom. And she taught me a few valuable lessons about sales that day. The first is that you have to have passion for what you sell and conviction that it's the right solution for your potential client or customer. Now, I realized really quickly that I wasn't ever going to be passionate about door-to-door sales on brooms and mops. Not that there's anything to look down upon, it just wasn't there for me. But she did also teach me something, that just because someone loves you, it doesn't mean that they'll buy something that they don't need. But more importantly, because someone loves you, they will introduce you to somebody else that may need what you have. It goes back to people do business with those they like and trust. Now, I was committed to making it in sales, and I started looking for a position that would be more fulfilling and more exciting. And I wanted to keep growing, and I thought a bigger company with some more stability and infrastructure could help me get there. I learned a ton working door to door for Fuller Brush, but I felt like I was ready to move on. And I noticed there were some great opportunities in the construction industry. And though I didn't know much about anything to do with construction at that time, I was young, I was hungry, and I was willing to learn. And being female didn't hurt either. I put in my work and I did my research beforehand, so I was on my interview and I had some really good ideas about what I was walking into. And so I thought. But I was really excited when I was offered a position with a huge roofing company. It wasn't all that I thought it would be, though. I wasn't being put in a position to really grow or truly succeed. I was told that while I didn't need to know anything about roofing, I would always have an expert with me to answer any questions. And I was reassured that the sales and the commissions would still be mine. And I was going to be seen as the face of the company. The face of the company. Not necessarily a position that highlighted my intelligence or my sales ability. And it didn't take me long to understand it wasn't the dream job I had thought I landed. I was proud to be the only woman in the state that was selling commercial roofing, but still, I wanted to be taken seriously for my opinion and my expertise. And I knew that wasn't happening. I was asked to wear a skirt or a dress so I could stand out in the roofing world. I was told that my appointments would take place on the job site, and I was reminded on numerous occasions that I was the face of the company. I didn't want to create a successful sales career by scaling ladders and skirts at job sites to close the deals. And I didn't feel like I was really an important part of the team or the company. Now, I held successful jobs in all sorts of fields before I got the opportunity that really led me down the path that I still get a rush out today. In between that time, I also had two incredible children, and it wasn't just about my life and my goals any longer. I wanted them to have every opportunity possible, and I was going to work my tail off to make that happen. Aren't they beautiful? I would bet that many of you have children, you can't believe how quickly they grow up, and you didn't want to miss any of those important milestones, and you still don't. Well, the opportunity that would unexpectedly get me started as a coach and mentor came when I started working in the world of insurance. Once again, I found myself as the only female in sales for the company at that time. And though I was being mentored by very successful men, I was missing a female's guidance. Now, I know what you're thinking. Women don't want to help other women many times, but this wasn't the case. There were no women to mentor me. Instead, I had to create my own playbook on how I could be successful in sales for myself while also juggling everything else on my plate. I was a single mom with great aspirations, so time management was crucial for me. And I had to figure out a way to determine my market, differentiate myself from the thousands of other insurance agents, and absolutely be making sales. You know, my children were in private school, and I was working on 100% commissions. But that situation I found myself in, that burning platform, if you will, is what really forced me to come up with my own game plan. One that had me closing more new business than I had imagined, developed an incredible referral network, and still kept my two children as my number one priority. And I used this process to build myself an incredible book of business, one that I felt comfortable selling to my prospects, one that was built off relationships and goodwill and referrals. And I built myself $1 million plus book of business using the same method I'm going to share with you today. And believe me when I say that the company started to take notice. If this woman from Connecticut could be so successful with two kids in tow and no background in insurance, she must have some valuable insight and strategies to share with other women. And I did. Now, as I started to be more successful, I became the company and the country mentor. I was promoted to an agency manager, and I worked with other agency managers across the country to help recruit and retain women onto their sales teams. And I loved it, and I was getting so much fulfillment out of this new role. Watching women succeed and confidently because I could share some of my strategies that I had picked up and show them how to develop their own process was a thrill. Now, my team was 50-50 male-female, which was huge in the insurance world. But my women were working on referrals and relationships on a 90-10 ratio to the men on the team. Our team grew from having me as the only team member to more than 50, and from zero to almost $50 million in business. Now, because of this success, I was offered a position as the senior director of training of the large insurance company. My very first position as an employee with a regular paycheck. I traveled 44 states, and sometimes I would hit 16 cities in 17 days. I was on a plane or I was building some training every day. I built product training, sales training, and an entire university for the company. I loved the field I was working in, and I still get a great deal out of helping people succeed in sales. But something wasn't right. Now, I'm sure many of you know what it's like to be 100% sure you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that's exactly how I felt. So I resigned from a very lucrative position in 2009, awful economy and all, to strike out on my own, to truly combine my passion with purpose. I wanted to do something that would continue what I began, so that many years ago, when I was working with just men, they were telling me whatever I was doing was not duplicatable. I wanted to work with women to be successful in sales while continuing to be feminine instead of becoming one of those boys. And I wanted to show women that they could be a star salesperson and still be a loving mom and still be a loving wife. I wanted to create something that would answer the challenge that I was hearing. So I listened, and that's where Selling in a Skirt was born. Okay, so all of this is great, and you can understand some of my struggles and some of my triumphs. But there's one more story that I need to share. And this is where my aha moment, when the light bulb went on like a neon light. It's a very personal story. And each time I think about it or I share it, I have to gulp a lot because while it changed my life, it was very hard to experience. I had this new path all worked out in my head, and I was going to do anything and everything to make this new business happen. I had the time as my children were grown up and they were out of the house. And I had not only the experience, but also the passion to really help women succeed in sales. Now, if I needed to, I could work 20 hours a day to make this work. And believe me, some days I did. But in that process, I started to lose track of myself. And then it happened. One of my best girlfriends decided to come visit me. We'd been friends for decades and shared many experiences together. She came into the insurance world after I had been in it for a while. And we'd been trying to coordinate a visit for some time, but couldn't get our schedules to cooperate. Finally, on this particular weekend, the sun, the moon, and the planets were aligned. We were going to have a girls' weekend complete with wine, food, and chocolate, and of course, more wine. And we were going to solve the problems of the world. But if we couldn't do all of that, we were going to talk about relationships and business. You see, she has the best relationship with her husband, and she was building her business and wanted to brainstorm with me. And I knew I could help, and I was excited to share my new venture with her. Now, she commented how beautiful my home was, and we started talking about business. She was so proud of what I've accomplished, and I of hers. And then she said something that I wasn't prepared for. She said in her very southern tone, "Girl, you have everything, but you have nothing." Now, anyone just feel like the knife went in and the salt was sprinkling around the wound? That's how it felt. Now, she didn't mean anything malicious, and she doesn't have a mean bone in her body. She knows me and how I am, and she wanted to make sure that I didn't repeat the same things over and over that she'd watched me do over the past few decades. Where was I in this picture of success? Where was my time management? Where was I, period? So right at that moment, I knew I needed to make some changes so that I was able to find myself, find my time for my children, maybe have a love life and things that I cared about outside of work. And not only be able to rediscover this side of my life, but also continue to build and grow my business successfully. Now, the changes started with taking control of my calendar, and I was as strict as I could be. And did I ever fall off the wagon? Of course, because I love what I do so much. So it's to be expected. But I always, always, always make a point to find time for the things that are important to me as a person, as well as a businesswoman. My life and my goals are evolving, and therefore my plan is too. But it was putting this plan in place that allowed me to provide for my children, grow a multi-million dollar business in insurance and launched my own business in the biggest recession we've faced in years, and still continue to be able to support my lifestyle while actually being able to enjoy it. So once I found some ideal work-life balance, I've since gone on to write 3 books. I'm the author of Selling in a Skirt, Famous Isn't Enough, and Pure Wealth, all business books for professional women, sales executives, and entrepreneurs. I'm also the host of a weekly radio show on Women for Women Network, and I've been featured on Fox News Radio, CNN Headlines, ABC, CBS, CW33, and Good Morning Texas. And I love to share my experience and my knowledge because it's a thrill I get when women come to me and tell me I've changed their lives. That's what I live for, and that's what I work for. So Selling in a Skirt began in 2009 to help empower women in their professional sales lives. And I wanted to help women be more than the face of any company, to help women succeed in their business and to do it on their own terms, in a way that they felt comfortable and confident while still crushing sales and growing their business. I had spent years learning and putting to practice important strategies and traits that make women great at selling, and have dedicated myself to help women perform better and succeed in sales in both their careers and as entrepreneurs. And I quickly realized that if women were going to succeed in business, and especially at selling, they'd need to approach it in an entirely different way. And that's by being your true authentic self, by using your most powerful inherent quality, your femininity. And on top of coming up with sales strategies that will work in today's market, I take great pride in being able to help women become more comfortable and confident as salespeople. So whether you work for yourself or you have a career in sales, comfort and confidence will do wonders for your closing ratio, your retention rates, and your customer value and sales performance overall. You know your market, your customers, and your offers like the back of your hand, and you should. But being able to present it from a genuine, authentic place and being true to yourself will help prospects feel more comfortable working with you and multiply your success. So, long story short, I understand the challenges that women face, whether they're 20, 40, or 60, married, single, or divorced, with children or without, and being in corporate environments or as an entrepreneur. And I'm probably, most of you, rolled up into me. And that's why I wanted to share my story, because any success I achieve in my life today will not happen unless I can help women reach their success. I love taking the knowledge, experience, and strategies I've used to grow a multi-million-dollar business and share it with women so that they can go and create their own. My mission is to help one woman a day by being able to give her the tools she needs to be successful in her career, provide for her family, and have time to do what she truly desires. And I do that with a process that has been proven to work with women across industries and disciplines achieve the same sales goals that I've achieved and what they're dreaming of. So this process has been developed over the years with tons and tons of experience, and it's always being improved and updated so that you can be sure you're getting relevant strategies that will work today. And like I said when we started, I'm so excited to be able to share this with you today. And I've normally kept this process for my group coaching and my one-on-one coaching sessions. And I'm thrilled to be able to do this presentation and share what I put together as part of my goal to help one woman a day succeed in her business in 2016 and beyond. So with it, you'll be able to be more confident and secure in your business success. More importantly, you'll be able to provide for yourself and your family, and you'll be comfortable and confident in both yourself, at work, and at home. And after this presentation, you're going to smash through any glass ceiling you may think is holding you back. And I'm going to show you how to reach all of your personal, financial, and business goals by being your true authentic self. And by being you, you'll be able to enjoy the journey just as much as you'll relish reaching and surpassing your goals. So before we get into the skirt process, we need to break some common misconceptions about sales. Again, tiny thoughts that are huge obstacles on your path to the confidence in sales you need to grow your business and live your ideal lifestyle. Now, in my over 3 decades of being in sales and coaching women, I've been exposed to a ton of myths about sales that have effectively kept most salespeople, both male and female, from being a success. And these misbeliefs have defeated them before they've even approached the prospect with any sort of presentation. Now, there is a very long list, but I'm going to focus on just a few myths I've discovered that are a combination of huge barriers to women's success in sales and at the same time should be the easiest to overcome. So get ready. Number 1, selling is a gift. I hear this one all the time. A woman that I'm training will tell me she can't sell like so-and-so because so-and-so is naturally talented while she's not. And she'll use this to defeat herself or to pre-explain away the reasons why she can't be closing. And it's a misbelief that will hold her hostage. So let me clear this one up for you. Selling is not a gift. Selling is a choice. And if you're a woman in business for herself, then you've already made that decision. Now it's just time to commit to it and understand what commitment means. It's a matter of finding the drive, determination. So let me give you an example. One of the agents I hired for insurance just couldn't pass her insurance exam. 6 times she took it and 6 times she failed. She was way behind all of her classmates because they passed it and they were on their way to becoming selling machines. When she finally took the exam the 7th time, I had a pep talk with her right before she went in. I told her not to worry what everyone else was doing. Some people are better test takers than others, and I reminded her she only needed a 70 to pass. No one's going to stop buying insurance from her because she didn't score 100. And then I told her that I missed passing the first time, but was determined to do it the next time, and I did. She was so excited that she wasn't alone in the not passing the first time class that she went in, passed the test, came straight to my office so we could figure out how to get her to the best position to be in. So we put together a plan, and she shadowed me for the next few weeks, and she went on to be my #1 sales agent. She made a choice to go out and sell, and if taking the test 7 times and still being the #1 agent is not an example of drive and determination, I'm not sure what is. Because she listened, she was a sponge, and she made a choice. Sales myth #2, selling is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the greater your success. Now this one is classic and it's classically wrong. Let me ask you this. If you spend any amount of time doing something the wrong way, will you get the right results? Let me simplify it. If your business sells energy pills, but you're going to be speaking to a lot of people who have trouble sleeping, are you going to have any success? No, definitely not. You need to be sure you're presenting your offer to the right prospects, and then think about scaling the number of those quality prospects you speak to. By understanding exactly who you're going to sell to and how your offer will help them, you will absolutely increase the number of quality sales calls and successful presentations you make. So instead, it's about the kind of people you speak to first, and then the number of those quality prospects you speak to. It's not about talking to everyone within a 20-foot radius until you sell one of them. No, you have to work smarter than that. You have to talk to enough of the right people in the right way, and you'll make sales like clockwork. Understanding who needs what you have to offer and who can benefit the most from it, and then approaching these people in a surefire way to improve your sales. This is the easiest way to sell. Sales myth #3, you have to be salesy to succeed in sales. Okay, this myth right here is always registered to me as more of an excuse than a mental blockage, one that's used all the time to excuse a lack of sales success. Listen, being pushy or polished means next to nothing in sales. I've seen rookie saleswomen blow the doors off veterans simply because they didn't seem to care how new they were in the industry. Many of them didn't fully even know what they were doing, they just sold. Now, you might call it natural talent, but we've already discussed that myth. It's not. But I'll give you a hint. Sales is not about selling. If you're a saleswoman, then you're in the problem-solving business. Stop seeing it as I need to sell them on the idea and start seeing it as I have this awesome product or a solution for them. I can't wait to tell them more about it. If you focus more on being a doctor rather than being a salesperson, then you'll close more sales than ever before. So instead of being salesy, the reality is you're much better off being yourself. That's right. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be a smooth talker, and you don't have to be extremely extroverted. You can be yourself, your authentic self, and still steadily grow in sales. Now, when I was in the height of my sales career, I was on the road a lot of the time. I truly wanted to have a solution for people, but I also had to be myself and not be aggressive, as I've seen others be. I always told my peers that they've told me that I took too long, I asked too many questions, and I made everyone my friend. But in reality, I was being myself, and I was building relationships with my clients. And as I started coaching and training women, I always tell them the way I did sales and the entire client base were referrals after 90 days. They were shocked, and some would even roll their eyes in disbelief. So that I would give them the 90-day challenge, and I gave them systems that I use for myself. What do you think happened? You got it. More sales, more referrals, and even a few new friendships were formed. I have clients in real estate, direct sales, insurance, banking, you name it. And when you ask them about the 100-point system and how it changed their game, you will hear rave reviews. The best part is that I designed that system for me and updated as technology changed as well as the addition of social media. The bottom line is to be genuine and true to yourself. You'll be far more successful in sales than someone who attempts to sell or to persuade people in ways that aren't natural for them. Okay, the next one is something I've heard from women across the country, across industries, and I hear it again and again and again, and it's so wrong. I hear this, that men are better at sales than women, and I just don't understand why. While sales and creating businesses has historically been a blue job or a man's job, it's certainly not the case any longer. There are women starting businesses every day at twice the rate as men. Women are reaching the top of corporations of varying sizes, and we're just as capable in the business world as men. Now, while we undoubtedly interact with and react to sales differently, we can understand that we should use some of these ideas to help us as women. Knowing our prospect and how to approach the sale is far more important than whether we're male or female when it comes to the success in business and in sales. So how many of you have heard of the women's advocate, Deborah Tannen? I see a few of you have. Okay, so she uses a term called rapport talk and also report talk. And she uses that in her book, Talking from 9 to 5. She suggests that male communication traits tend to be honest, direct, and factual. That would be report. Women tend to be less direct, more tactful, and focus on connecting, and that would be rapport. So to have effective communication and to sell effectively to men and women, understanding these differences are critical. So as women, rapport talk leads to relationships, and we all know how important building relationships are in business. So again, knowing who you're selling to and how to approach them is far more important than to selling to them. So the reality is instead that women can absolutely be sales rock stars. Whatever you want to call it, women can absolutely crush sales and grow their businesses well beyond their goals. We have amazing inherent traits and qualities that allow us to empathize with our prospects, to be able to put ourselves in their shoes, and to help take them on a journey to a better place or a happier place in order to make buying from us easier. Our natural interest in people and relationships, our ability to share stories, to listen and create dialogue, the way we dissect and discuss things, our ability to be in touch with our own and other people's feelings and emotions, these all make us perfect candidates to be rock stars. So do you see how these subtle differences are extremely powerful to us? And how understanding them and how to use them can give us amazing advantage? And really, I've only mentioned a few of the differences between the way men and women communicate, but think how powerful this really is. So far we've talked about how selling isn't a gift, but a learned trait that puts everyone on an equal playing field, even a newcomer to sales. We've talked about how talking to the right people is the only way to sell. Talking to anyone and everyone is a breeding ground for frustration. And how you don't need to be polished to be great at sales. You just have to be determined, unafraid, and problem-solving oriented. Really, you just need to be comfortable and confident in yourself, your business, and your offer. And how sales is not a gender-specific skill, and how men aren't quote-unquote better than women at it. But that really brings me to the limiting belief that holds almost all of the women I've worked with back from their full potential. Whether they're in the corporate world or in business for themselves, this is the overarching theme or narrative that I hear. And that is women I work with saying that they aren't enough, or some variation of that. I'm not experienced enough, I don't have enough authority, I'm not smart enough, and I'm not well known enough. I've also heard of I'm not this and I'm not that, and all that nonsense. So I'm going to give you a real story about enough, how it popped out at the most inopportune time. And I'm wondering if this has ever happened to you. I was planning on putting on a telesummit with 25 other women. I had hand-selected them and had email invitations to them and was excited to be organizing and facilitating it until that word creeped into my brain. I'm not big enough, I'm not famous enough, I'm not smart enough. I even threw in, I'm not tall enough, and I told my husband I was canceling it before I even got started. That's how much enough I had. He asked me why, and I gave him my spiel of the enough nonsense. He looked at me and he said very calmly and lovingly, "Are you nuts?" He continued with, "People want to be around you. They trust you. They admire you. They respect you. They want to be around you. They want to do things with you. Don't let them down." So what do you say to that? I said, "Okay, I'll give it to 6 o'clock, and if I have any second thoughts, I'm going to cancel it." So at 1 minute to 6, I hit send on 25 emails and turned my computer off. I mean, totally off. I couldn't bear people telling me no, and I called it a night. 12 hours later, at 6 a.m., I turned on my computer, and 24 of the 25 said, yes, absolutely. Thank you for asking me. I'm honored, on and on and on. And I did look for that 25th one, and an hour later, it also came in with a big fat yes. But since she was in Australia and the time difference was the only reason she was late, I was looking for another out. So no matter who you are, what you represent, or why you do what you do, enough will creep in, and you have to do everything to chase it away. The ultimate reality is that you're more than enough. You and what you have to offer are absolutely well beyond more than enough. You've thought enough of yourself to think about starting a business, or maybe you're already in business for yourself. You can offer something to everyone that no one else can, even if all you're selling is a simple t-shirt, and that's because you can inject yourself into your business. Overcoming your limiting beliefs about yourself, your business, and your sales capabilities is crucial to your success, especially as a woman in business for herself. Now, you have to realize that even if you have help along the way, nobody is actually going to do this for you. If you're a woman in your business for yourself, it really comes down to believing in yourself, having the drive, the determination, and the confidence that your business and your offer can really help your prospects. So much of my coaching starts with women realizing that they are more than enough, more than skilled, more than capable of being successful, and more than they've ever dreamed of. So do you really see how these myths are actually limiting beliefs? You need to remove these from your mind in order to even begin to succeed in sales. Trust me, in most cases, it isn't about the lack of drive or determination with women I work with. It's usually their mindset that holds them back. Eliminating these thoughts and beliefs from your mind will have a tremendous impact on how you approach your business and ultimately your success in selling your offer and growing your business. And overcoming these limiting beliefs is only a small part of the process to a better business and more sales. So in order to help women overcome the limiting beliefs and at the same time become better businesswomen in the process, I developed the skirt philosophy. And it's worked time and time again to make women better and more confident saleswomen. So let's get into it. First, I need to tell you that SCIRT is an acronym. And if you follow it to the letter, then you will sell more than you ever thought you were capable of. If you're having trouble finding your stride and your confidence as businesswomen, especially if most of those troubles come from sales, then this method will absolutely help you overcome these obstacles. Even those of you that are experiencing some success in business right now will benefit from the simplicity and logic behind the SCIRT. Now, the SCIRT philosophy has been developed and improved upon over my years in business and in coaching women in sales and in business themselves. Each letter represents an important part of a confident saleswoman and a businesswoman. And it's funny because a lot of people ask me how I came up with the SCIRT acronym. So when I started selling in a skirt back in 2009, I was trying to figure out how to use my expertise in sales and having to come up with my own plan of action to solve the problem that women in sales were having. Now, as I got more and more into the business, I discovered that it really wasn't about sales per se. Instead, it was more about everything leading up to the sale, the confidence, the motivation, the time management, the being unique, so many factors. So as I continued to work with women from all over the United States to improve their sales, I realized that every single woman needed help here with at least one of the 5 specific things. And that's where the SCIRT acronym comes from. Honestly, these 5 little letters have impacted my life and career like nothing else. And focusing on improving even just one has impacted amazing results for some women that I've worked for. And if you can improve in more than one, you can realize even more amazing results in your business. So let's dive into each one and think about which of those you could use help with yourself. So the S represents standing out. So many women I've spoken to or worked with have mentioned that they aren't sure about how to differentiate themselves from their competition or how to stand out. And that's a tough position to be in. It really does mean how you stand out. Simply put, to stand out, it means to do something that no one else is doing, to be unique, to be different. It sounds easy, but we live in an incredibly noisy and competitive world, and attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. Your business needs to find a way to cut through the noise in order to sell your offer on a consistent basis and allow you to live the lifestyle you want. Everyone seems to be going after the same dollar that you are, so how and why should somebody want to work with you? In other words, what makes you stand out? For starters, think about your market. Who's playing in your sandbox? Who are the top authorities or brands? What do they do? What do they do? What do you do differently than them? Who are your dream clients and how do you speak to them? Taking a good look at yourself and what you have to offer in relation to your market is a great way to help you position yourself and your business to stand out. You don't want to be the same as everyone, so you need to identify the problem you're trying to solve and then be creative in your solution. And then, how do you find those people that need your solution? And really, when you think about it, part of standing out is being comfortable with yourself. If you aren't able to overcome the barriers of thinking that you aren't enough, you can inject your personality and connect at a deeper level with your prospects and clients. How could you do that? That in itself will absolutely help you stand out from your competition. Now, you don't need to hide who you are or disguise it because you're in business. What so many women don't realize is who you are is exactly what makes you different than anyone else. So by staying true to that, you're able to differentiate yourself easily and take advantage of other bonuses. When you're confident and unafraid to be yourself at work, your transparency and confidence will come across as genuine and authentic. Your clients and customers will be much more comfortable with you and be much more likely to get to know, like, and trust you. Those are huge elements in getting someone to eventually buy from you. There's lots of tips and strategies to differentiate your business, your offer, and yourself, and we cover that throughout the skirt trainings. But I want to share one last quick tip on how to stand out before we move on. One that's worked over and over and over again to help women grow their sales and develop loyal customers and a client base. And that's to be interested, not interesting. So take a genuine interest in everyone you talk to, or at least everyone you think has a real interest in your offer. Show people you're invested in them, and it's so much easier for you to invest in you. On the other side, it's incredible the results I've seen when women start injecting their personalities into their conversations. When you show that you're a human being that's passionate for things outside of work and aren't just trying to close them, prospective clients and customers will be far more receptive to everything you want to share with them. But it's not enough to just be different. After you make your business, your offers, and yourself stand out, you need to make sure that you take care of the next letter in the skirt method. And that's the K. Those are the keys to your success. Now, while we cover a few keys throughout the skirt, I want to talk to you today about the one that will have the biggest impact on your success. Think about what would make you feel successful for a second. Is it money? I mean, we all like money, or we wouldn't be in sales and in business. But what is it about the money that really gets us? Is it more time at home? Is it freedom to travel? Is it living debt-free? It's likely different for each of us, but whomever I've talked to, whoever I work with will tell me, whether driven by money or totally altruistic, it essentially boils down to happiness. The pursuit of happiness drives all of us. Psychologists have proven that people who are happy are more successful at virtually everything than someone who's unhappy. Happy people become more attractive and more comfortable in sales, and happy people are easier for prospects to become comfortable with. And while it's important to think about what we're working for, what will make us happy, I bring this up because it's equally or more important that we understand what our potential clients and customers want. What will make them happy? Selling from this perspective is going to be the biggest key to your business or your sales success. Every single person you meet in life is making a decision to try and bring about happiness, whether they know it or not. Almost all human action is driven by this pursuit, and especially any action involving an exchange of money. In this case, happiness translates into a solution, and that's what your key will bring to them. So no matter what women I've worked with, what they're selling, whether in their careers, on their business, their clients or customers, they aren't necessarily looking for their product or service, but instead, they're looking for the happiness they get from the solution they receive. So being able to show you understand and then position the resulting happiness to your prospects, they'll lead you to more successful sales than selling features ever will. Sales is not about the product or service, it's about the experience. And yes, you need to know your product or service like the back of your hand. And yes, you need to know your client and customer base better than they know themselves. And yes, you need to know how to attract new prospects and customers. But all of that stems from the core fundamental of identifying what's going to make them happy and how you can position your offer to bring happiness to those people. So how do you, as a businesswoman, find out what the person wants and what will make that person happy? The answer to this one draws on being interested in your clients and customers, and that is to ask questions. And not just any questions, the right questions. You have to bring the people into the conversation and get their opinion in their own words. Now, believe me, I wasn't dubbed the question queen for nothing. When you ask the right questions at the right time to the right people, the right outcome will be presented. Being the question queen has been a major secret to my success, and this will soon be yours as well. So here are the steps, and you can write them down. Ready? Step 1, ask a question. Step 2, listen without interrupting. Step 3, ask another question that's related to the last one. Step 4, listen like your life depended on it. And step 5, repeat steps 1 through 4 until you find out what the problem needs to be solved and how it's going to be done. It's really that simple, and you shouldn't even have to do much talking yourself. Your prospective clients or your customers should tell you why they're here and what will make them happy. Think of yourself as the lawyer building a case with questions and then probing questions. And then you're the doctor prescribing a solution based on the answers to your questions. So ask questions, listen intently, and be 100% confident that the prescription you're offering is going to make them happy. Prospects will be able to smell it from a mile away if you're trying to make just the commission or help yourself instead of actually trying to help them. Okay, so we're off to a great start. Even improving one of these first 2 letters can and has produced tremendous gains in sales. But we're not done yet. Let's talk about I for inspiration. Now, similar to how we all seek happiness, we all need to be inspired as well, you and every one of your prospects. So how do you inspire your prospects so they'll have an incredible impact on your business? To be inspiring is to exhibit a positively infectious personality that will cause everyone around you to think clearer, to want to be better themselves, and to make decisions with absolute confidence. So why is this important? Because you're in sales, and sales is all about influence and inspiration. If you can influence and inspire people that whatever you're offering them will make them better off and happier, then you could sell it to them. If they can truly see themselves benefiting from buying from or working with you, then prospects really do most of the selling themselves. But how do you inspire people? It's a question I'm asked all the time by my clients. There's actually many ways, some specific to your industry, but I'm going to give you 2 that are some of my favorites that you can apply to just about any business. So number 1, show absolute certainty and confidence in everything you say. People will feed off your energy. If you aren't 100% confident in your words, in your product or your service, or in the fact that your solution is the right one for them, then they'll feel the lack of confidence and immediately become hesitant to buy. Confidence is conducive to people feeling inspired. Like we said in the beginning, you're positive, you have an awesome product and service, so there's no reason to not be confident in what you're sharing and selling. And at the same time, be confident to walk away from a sale if it isn't right for your customer. I've personally received more referrals from people I didn't sell to because they knew I had integrity, and that was inspiring to them. Now, the second way you can inspire is by telling real-life stories. Everyone loves the underdog. Everyone loves hearing stories of people who have achieved success or happiness, especially if you can help them. Sharing detailed, vivid, lifelike stories will help them show that you're invested in the results of your clients and helps paint a very clear picture in your prospect's mind of what they could experience. So are you getting this? Do you see how confidence and stories can play a huge role in your ability to inspire your prospects and ultimately make a sale? Put it in the chat box. Let me know if you are inspired or you are inspiring. Oh, a lot of people are both. That's awesome. I like to be inspired by very intelligent people, but I also like to inspire when I can. Now, I love hearing from clients about just how excited and confident about the service or product they provide their prospects have mirrored their excitement and confidence. And guess what? That leads to more sales for them and sales to customers and clients who start off confident and are excited about their purchase. Okay, we're only 3/5 away through the way of all the letters, and already I hope you're feeling like you can take some of these quick suggestions and make great changes to your sales success today. But let's keep moving and get to the next letter, R. So by now, even from our quick overview of the SCIRT methods, you're standing out from your competition, you're understanding that bringing happiness to your prospects is one of the fundamental keys to your success, and you've inspired them to take action. But next, they need to believe that taking action will give them results. So helping your prospect understand exactly what they can expect to gain from buying your product or service is a great way to convince them that this is right for them. Testimonials, data, and results of any kind will show your prospect that you can and have provided for people like them before. And not speaking to results can leave your prospect uncertain about the solution you're presenting and therefore unlikely to buy. So let me give you an example. Think about the fitness equipment infomercials you see on television these days. Can you imagine if they spent the whole time selling you on features like the total weight you could lift or the number of exercises you can complete? Nobody would buy. But only because they share the results of their clients do they sell anything. These transformational stories are the results that companies like Bowflex and P90X and more use to sell their products. And they work because these companies are worth 9 figures. So results is also about creating a win-win situation for yourself and your clients, creating relationships that will last and can lead to referrals in the future. It's incredible what sharing results have done to multiply the sales for the women I work with. Your network of referrals, positive word of mouth, and goodwill are all built from creating these win-win situations. So from the millennials that I work with to the women with decades of experience, their sales have increased because they're sharing what makes them unique, they're more confident with themselves, and are motivated to be their best, all the while being an inspiration with their stories, their expertise, and their presence. You never know who's watching you and what opportunities will be presented to you. If you focus on showing and providing results for your prospects, then you'll be generating and closing more business than you can possibly imagine. And all of this new business brings us to the final letter of the SCIRT method, the T, which stands for time management, which is my absolute favorite piece. This is more about you and your mindset and your well-being than anything else. But so many of my clients struggle with managing their time effectively. And let's be honest, it's tough. You're a woman in business and you probably wear a number of hats as well. Perhaps some of the hats you wish you wore more often, like your mom or wife or daughter or sister. But the right systems and processes and support will help you get to a place where you have an amazingly successful business and still have time to do what you want and what you love. I've helped countless women spend more time doing what they want to do by doing and making money in the process. And I know what it takes to get businesses and sales to a point where you're able to hire people to take care of the tasks you don't want to be doing and probably shouldn't be doing in the first place. And I know what it takes to grow a business to the point that they're making my clients thousands of dollars per month on autopilot and they get to spend more time with their friends and family. You know, you need to enjoy many of the things you love along with your business. All of the first 4 letters will help you sell more confidently and effectively. And now we can start thinking about ways to automate and delegate the tasks we don't want to do so we can focus more on what we really wanted to spend our time on. And using simple tools and knowing how to delegate allows you to free up your time and balance it to your ideal work-life balance so that you can be the rock star, super saleswoman, as well as the amazing mom, the wife, and the partner that's so important to you as well, which is really why we got into business in the first place. Not necessarily to work, but to afford the love of the life we live. So now over the last 30 minutes or so, we've covered 2 really important topics and a lot of information. We've discussed the top sales myths that I always get when I'm coaching women about sales, and the one huge limiting belief that's holding them back from achieving sales, their growth, and the results they deserve. And getting past these myths will eliminate any mental roadblocks that you have and will allow you to sell much more confidently and effectively. We've also spoken about the SCIRT sales method and a little bit of the training and philosophy behind it. A method that enabled myself to create a $1 million business and has since enabled hundreds of other women to approach sales in a way that has allowed them to be more comfortable in the role, realize their business goals, and at the same time enjoy their ideal work-life balance. You know, you have to be confident in yourself and your business and your offer and the results you provide. And you need to be able to understand what makes your prospective clients and your customers happy and how to inspire them. But all of that can be achieved quite simply if you have the right mindset and approach. And that being said, we did talk a lot in the last 30 minutes, and I know that sometimes I can talk quite fast because I always get excited. And I'm sure some of you feel like this right now. And I can only imagine this young girl is refreshed, and I hope some of you are as well with what we've talked about, but also a bit overwhelmed, I'm sure, which I can completely understand if you're feeling that way. But it's okay, because it takes some time to perfect your sales game, certainly longer than the duration of, of a short presentation. The SCIRT method is usually delivered over the course of a few in-person workshops and then supported by a weekly group coaching call. And I couldn't possibly share everything in the time we have together today. But again, I wanted to give you some really helpful tips and strategies that you could take into action now. Tips that have helped hundreds of women I work with, and I know if you use them, you'll be able to help you and your business. And while I mentioned I normally offer the full skirt method philosophy training in my group coaching sessions and corporate engagements and masterminds, and I've been working hard to make it more accessible and more available to more women. And I love hearing the results about new lives of the women I work with and what they're achieving. Like Donna, who was a corporate executive before resigning to start her own business. We worked together, put a plan in place, and she's already realizing amazing results. She's connecting with the right people and has gotten recurring clients, and she's continuing to build her authority and share her knowledge. And she's even teaching in a university that needs exactly what she offers. And I have to admit, I want to hear more and more of it. And I mentioned briefly before that I started this year with one very specific goal in mind. And if you remember, that goal was to help one woman a day grow their own businesses this year. And in order to make that goal even more possible, I knew I needed to make the skirt method more accessible. I knew I had to find a way to let women learn and grow from the lessons and the techniques I've learned over my years in sales and coaching women in sales. But at the same time, not to be limited to delivering these teachings only during hours that I'm available. So I've worked tirelessly to create a digital course packed with all the same amazing systems and lessons I share throughout my more hands-on engagement. A course for women to take that will help them overcome their obstacles and achieve the kind of sales success that they've always wanted and rightfully deserve. And I've called it the Skirt Sales Playbook. And it's packed with information and strategies to help you to be successful today. I don't want you to be successful in 6 months from now, or a year from now, or 2 years from now. I want you to be successful today. I want to give you actionable strategies to improve your sales specific to your business. And to do that, you have to have a process. You have to have systems. You have to create a plan that makes it work for you today. And we can do all that through the Skirt Sales Playbook. So if you're struggling with how to sell, who to sell to, where to find them, how to work with them, while still trying to have a life, then the Skirt Sales Playbook will absolutely help. And I've packed everything into a digital course. The modules and lessons are broken up and designed specifically for you to go at your own pace and discover the most effective way to sell your offer and grow your business. So here's how it works. Each week we cover a different part of the skirt method. We'll cover in depth how you can stand out, how to determine your own keys to success, how to inspire, how to get and then share the results you and your clients are looking for, and how to create a time management system that works for you. And I wanted to break the online version up similarly to the way we work in class, by making the first half about the psychology and theory behind each letter, and the second half about the action and accountability. It's great to share some ideas, but only action will ever generate sales and results. The worksheets, the videos, the elements of each module are set up so at the end of the course, you have your very own custom sales playbook, a plan of action, strategies, and a process to achieving greater sales success and growing your business. One designed specifically for you and your business. And you'll be able to position yourself and your offer in the most effective way possible, knowing you can get your prospects to their desired outcome, whether you have a product to sell or a service you provide. And you'll handle objections like a pro. And you won't waste time speaking to tire kickers or clients who wouldn't end up being good for you and your business in the long run anyway. And you'll know how to create an amazing network of partners and potential prospects. And you'll establish and crush your own sales goals with ease, all because you have systems and processes that are right for you. And all of this you can do at your own pace, knowing that each module will positively affect your sales, your business, and your life. And I don't want to stop there. In order to make the accountability portion of the work truly effective, I wanted to add something else to the playbook offer. So when you invest in the Skirt Sales Playbook, in order to help ensure that you're headed towards the success you deserve, I wanted to open up my time to you as well. I wanted to be sure that you were making the most out of the playbook lessons and could put them into action as quickly and confidently as possible. And while I knew it couldn't be in person or in class, I knew I could carve out some time each week to help each and every one of you understand how to apply each lesson from the skirt. So in order to do that, I've created a weekly group coaching call for women that are working through the playbook. We'll speak once per week for 6 weeks in small group workshops to work on your personal Skirt Sales Playbook. I like to do these calls in small groups because I find that my clients learn a lot from each other. Ideas are shared, and growth and success becomes inevitable. These weekly group coaching calls will be similar to the kind of group workshops I've typically hosted. Groups of motivated women working together has always produced incredible results, and anyone who takes the Skirt Sales Playbook will tremendously benefit from 6 weeks of conversation and discovery. These in-class workshops can be quite expensive and time-consuming, so my goal with the Skirt Sales Playbook is to keep things as simple, effective, and as affordable as possible. And you can also get direct email access to me during my office hours for any extra support so that you can contact me and I can help you overcome any roadblocks you have. If you have a big pitch coming up or a new product you're hoping to launch, send me an email with your questions and together we'll ensure you make the sale or achieve whatever sales goals you have. And whether in person or online, working with me personally is going to save you time and money. Now, I may have mentioned a few times that I've been doing and studying and coaching sales for 30 years. And I've coached hundreds of women. I've spoken at hundreds of corporate events and conferences. And I've been through the trenches to find out what works and what doesn't work. And I know I'll be able to make you better sales and businesswomen, no matter what market you're in or what you sell. Working with me personally allows you to fast track your success because you get to leverage my 30 years of experience. You don't have to go through quickly and trial and error. Remember, my goal is to get you to see results quickly. And the best way I can do that is by working with you personally over 6 weeks. Now, if you want to be successful in sales, you need someone to keep you accountable, to do what's absolutely necessary. And that's why I give you assignments and workbooks and checklists and templates throughout the course to keep you accountable to get the results you not only want, but you also deserve. Everything's archived in the members area and is constantly updated with new and more relevant information to keep you at the cutting edge of sales in 2016 and beyond. Now, I want to mention again who this is for. This is for women in business who rely on sales for their income, and especially for entrepreneurial women who are ready to scale their business success. It's for women who are passionate about their field, but who feel like they aren't realizing the results they should be. They know they have an amazing product and service to offer their market, and they know they can make more sales. It's for women who are working too hard to not be living the work-life balance they dream of and know they deserve. So if you're ready to invest in yourself and your strategies that are relevant in today's market, have been in business for over a year and aren't afraid of a little hard work, then this is for you. With the confidence and the motivation boosting tips provided in this course, you'll take your sales and professional success to levels you've never seen before. You'll feel strong and powerful and like the sales process when you approach it as your true, authentic self instead of the shady, slimy, unethical way that so many people think when they hear the word sales. Now, some of my most successful clients have come to really love sales. Now, here's an interesting story. I was asked to do sales training for a company. It was a 5-day training, and no one there was or wanted to be or would admit to being a salesperson. The room was set up with whiteboards across the entire front, and the tables and chairs were in a U shape with the opening in the front. On the very first day, I stood at the whiteboard and asked everyone to give me the first thing that came to their mind when they thought of sales. And if you wanted to hear every negative connotation or adjective and phrase, it was on the list. There was not one positive thing, not even about the money. So I left the list on the board. My work was cut out for me. Every day I gave more strategies and shared stories, and I even got them to do some role playing. They were warming up with some of the benefits of selling. And on Friday, I went to the opposite side of the front of the room and asked them to give me the first thing that came to their mind when they thought of sales again. And this time I wrote it on the whiteboard on the right-hand side. Was everything positive? No. But at least 70% of the negativity left the room, and I had some eager people ready to get out there and sell. These were real women in the environment. They needed some education and some conversation. Now, this isn't about Melinda Gates or Sheryl Sandberg or Sarah Blakely or Debbie Fields or even Barbara Corcoran. This is about you and me and the everyday businesswoman looking to improve their sales. Now, Stephanie is a client of mine who was struggling with her business before we met. A few weeks after working together, she sent me this. She said, prior to Judy, I was constantly on the hunt for my clients, where I would have to go out and find new ones every day, every week, every month, rinse and repeat. Now, after having learned from Judy, over 80% of my sales come in without me having to do any extra work. Now, isn't that awesome? How many of you are currently struggling every month to try and find new clients? How many of you are wasting a lot of time generating leads, hoping to make sales? And how many of you wish that 80% of your sales came in without having to do any extra work at all? Now, I know some of you might think, well, that's not possible for me. But I promise you, before Stephanie came to me, she thought the same thing, and she's doing it. So don't put it past it, because it's happening to regular people around you, and it can happen to you as well. And here's another testimonial from Dana. She said, Judy single-handedly gave me the tools and the ability to be one of the top agents in our company. The best part about working with her is that she doesn't have a cookie cutter process that she tells everyone across the board. The key thing I love about this testimonial from Dana is about the cookie cutter process. You can't have a cookie cutter process when it comes to sales. That's why I help women create their own customized playbook that's specific to their business and their situation. You know, I've dedicated the last few decades of my life to helping women achieve success in sales, whatever their careers are and for whatever their business is. And I can't get enough of the positive results my skirt method has helped them achieve in their own sales and their business lives. I have a process and a system that works over and over again to get business women to become successful the way they want to be and the way they deserve to be. And I'm so excited to be able to offer these trainings to you in a more accessible way. And I'm truly motivated to help one woman a day grow their business this year. Okay, so to recap, what you're going to get is the Skirt Sales Master Playbook course, a digital course that will absolutely help you stand out, find your keys to success, be able to inspire your prospects, and sell your results. And of course, help you manage your time as you find a balance between growing your business and living your life. And 6 group workshops with me where I work personally with you, plus access to me directly via email so that we can be sure you're getting the most out of the course. The bottom line, if you only got the course with this support alone, it would still be worth the entire investment. If that's all I gave you, it would still be worth it. But I want to be absolutely sure you succeed and to be sure you're getting even more. So at this point, what else do you need to be successful? Think about it. You have access to a mentor who has been in the trenches for over 30 years. You have access to the training that will give you your own personalized playbook, tailored specifically for your market, your product, and your business. So what else do you need to be successful? What else? Well, how about a support group? It's very easy and very important to be part of a group where people support each other, answer questions, and help you on your journey to success. This is where relationships are built and strategic partnerships are formed, a place for the conversation to continue between and beyond our group coaching sessions and masterminds, a place for inspired and motivated women in business and sales all congregate to uplift and empower one another with their strategies and their positivity. That's why I created one of the best support groups out there with expert saleswomen, successful entrepreneurs, and ambitious, driven women just like you. This group is private on Facebook and is very active with resources, guidance, and help no matter what situation you may be in. So as part of the Skirt Sales Playbook package, you also get access to my private Skirt Facebook group. But I didn't want to stop there. I want to have a one-on-one call with you at the end of your 6 weeks of group coaching, and once you've completed the modules for the online course. I want to help you any way I can to help you hit the ground running with your new strategies, your new systems, your new processes. And I find that this call can really help cut through any remaining hesitations or questions, or to explore any new thoughts and ideas it brought up. We'll schedule a call where we can talk about the details, as well as your business, your life, your goals for both, and how you can reach them. Another thing that really helped me propel me to the next level in my career, being able to speak one-on-one with a mentor during that big situation. When you grow and expand your vision, you will surely face situations you've never faced before. So having group workshops on a weekly basis is absolutely great, but sometimes you need to have one-on-one with someone who's been there and done that. And that's what we're going to do at the end of the 6 weeks. I also put on live events around the country where hundreds, sometimes thousands of women come together to learn from each other, and incredible guest speakers come to share their knowledge and wisdom. And because you're on this presentation today, if you invest in the Skirt Sales Playbook, I'm going to give you free access to one of my upcoming live events. I usually host one per quarter, and tickets cost anywhere from $297 to $497 per event. These events are transformational for the women who attend them, and the networking is invaluable. So, my aim for when putting together the Skirt Sales Playbook package was to provide everything that you need to reach your goals. That's why I put so much effort into this. So to quickly recap what you get in the Skirt Sales Playbook, you get the Skirt Sales Playbook Master Course. You get 6 group workshops with me where I personally work with you, plus access to me during office hours directly via email. You get access to a private Skirt Facebook support group. You get one laser-focused one-on-one strategy call at the end of the 6 weeks, and you get free access to my upcoming live event. You get all of this. Again, I wanted to be sure you could succeed as quickly as possible, and I wanted you to achieve and exceed your business goals, and I know the combination of these 5 things will absolutely help you to do that. And an important question for me to ask in this process was both, what would achieving a better business mean for the women I'd help, and how could I make it so irresistible that would be an almost no-brainer to take action? I've helped women build businesses and careers that generate 6- and 7-figure incomes, Some of whom do it from wherever they'd like with their loved ones at their sides. But really, take a moment and ask yourself, what would it be worth to you for achieving your sales goals and living your dream work-life balance? What would it be worth to you? Now, for me to get where I am, I learned everything that I've learned. It's taken me 30 years and well over $100,000 in books, coaching programs, trainings, mentors, you name it. If you remember correctly, after Stephanie went through the training, she went from spending her days and nights chasing after leads and looking for new clients to getting over 80% of her business now coming in without her having to do any extra work. How much is that worth? Now, in the future, I'll be selling the Skirt Sales Playbook package for $19.97. Which is also a steal for the amount of time and effort I'm putting in to guarantee your success. But because you're here today, and I'm on a serious mission to help one woman today this year, I'm going to give you access to the entire Skirt Sales Playbook package with all the bonuses and everything I showed you today for just one single payment of $9.97. That's it. I couldn't be more excited to be offering you all the tools and support you need to succeed in sales and business and be able to do it at such an amazing price. I am truly motivated to help one woman a day achieve their sales goals and live the lifestyle they set out to live each and every day this year. I want to guide them to a better business and a more enjoyable life in 2016, and I want you to be one of them. So the question is, are you that woman? Now, to put everything into perspective, I normally charge a few thousand for each of the workshops that we'll be having over the phone together on a weekly basis, let alone the one-on-one call, the Facebook group, and the email support to help you make the most out of your playbook. Not to mention, this is the method I use to build a $1 million business. And let's be honest, how many sales would it take to recuperate that cost? I'd bet not many more than you're doing right now. And believe me, it will help you make those sales. It's helped many women achieve their business and life goals that they've been dreaming of for ages. Now, to make it even easier, I want to give you a money-back guarantee. I hate it when people ask you to invest in something without any sort of guarantee, and I don't want you to ever feel that you're risking money. My goal is to help you grow and get results, not feel like you're risking something. And that's why I'm offering you a 15-day money-back guarantee. Even after we've gone through 2 of the 6 workshops and you've had 15 days to go through the digital course, even after you've gone through most of the training in the members area, even after you've experienced our support group. If you aren't 100% satisfied, then I don't deserve your money, and I'll personally give you a full refund, no questions asked. So right now you have 2 choices. You could do nothing and not take this opportunity, which is, as you know, is 100% risk-free. Now, you might be able to implement some of the things we've spoken about today, maybe not. Or you can make this small investment in yourself and your business today and let me work directly with you to help you get to where you want to be. You have absolutely nothing to lose and the business and lifestyle of your dreams to gain. So again, to quickly recap, what those who take action today are going to get for $9.97, the Skirt Sales Playbook Sales Master Course, 6 group workshops with me where I personally work with you, plus access to me directly via email, our private Skirt Facebook support group, 1 laser-focused one-on-one strategy call, and free access to an upcoming live event, all for $9.97. But I want to do one more thing because I don't know about you, but I love action takers because I'm an action taker. And I love people who jump on opportunities to change their lives for the better. So for the first 15 people who sign up after the webinar, I will ship you a signed copy of my book, Famous Isn't Enough. Now, I wrote it for women just like you so that I can save you time and money by not making the same mistakes I made when I started selling in a skirt. I made so many mistakes that I believed I even made up some new ones. It's a gift for the first 15 women that sign up after the webinar. But all of this is about being an action taker. So show me that you're committed to growth and achieving your goals, and I'll work with you personally to ensure the success of your business. So to get started, head over to www.skirtsalesplaybook. That's www.skirtsalesplaybook. And when you get there, you'll see this website right here. Play the video quickly so we can continue our conversation, and then scroll to the bottom and click the Add to Cart button. Once you click on the button, you'll join and you'll be able to be taken to the page where you create your account for the Skirt Sales Playbook online course. It's already live and waiting for you, so you actually can get started right away if you want. Then I'll be in touch with you to schedule our first workshop and we'll hit the ground running together. So get started right now by going to Skirt Sales Playbook. And I am so excited and so grateful that you stayed along with me for the entire presentation. Can't wait to work with you personally. So let's take your career and your sales to the next level. I have some time for questions, and I can see a lot of questions coming in. So we're compiling some of them here, and I want to make sure I answer them. But remember, I don't want you to miss out on the book, so even if you have questions, they'll get answered. Just make sure you go right now, reserve your spot. That's way it's guaranteed, and everything is risk-free. I thank you all for joining me, and I will start answering questions.